All right, hello everyone. In this video, I will be showing you how to write your own parser to parse Markdown files using the Megaparsec library in Haskell. To give you a demo, let's say I have this Markdown file that has various types of Markdown syntax. I can convert it into this HTML format. As you can see, the heading will have h1 tag, heading 2 will have h2 tag, h3 tag, and all that. So without any further ado, let's start. Let me just quickly open. I'm going to call it MD parser. Uh, okay, let me do Cabal in it. Make sure you have GHC and Cabal installed, library and executable. Just give me a second. Let's just add Megaparsec really quickly, and I will also be using our text as the basic stream input stream type. So in executable in library, the build it depends. We'll have Megaparsec, and I will have text. So where is lib? Okay. Let me just import text dot megaparsec. Okay, so if we go into Markdown and if we check out the syntax, you can see usually if there is a hash and then whatever the text is there, it is going to be its HTML equivalent is going to be heading level 1, or a heading level 2, it's H2, 3, 4, and so on. We will not be using this because this might get a bit more complicated. Uh, with p tag, it's basically the normal text will have the p tag enclosing, then stuff like break line, there is bold, which is something we will be implementing. Italic is going to be there, the combination of bold and italic when there are 3 stars or 3 underscores. Block points is there, but this is something that we will not be covering. And lists are going to be there. List is something that is very important. That is something we will be covering. So let's start. And I just want to write. First, what we'll do is we'll write a very simple version of the parser. We'll just do a couple of them, for example, heading and bold, and then we will obviously try to cover all sort of cases and edge cases. We will do that. So let's see how it works. First, let me just start the Cabal REPL. Then import text dot megaparsec. I'm going to do parse test. So, for example, if there is the case, this is heading text. Okay, what sort of parser will work here? Okay, let's just write it in our text thing. So if we go in here, we'll open the char as well. So Usually the first thing text.megaparsec tells us to do is have a type synonym for parsec void text, where void is the error type and text is the what sort of type of input stream is going to be. We will be using text only. So let's just write one here, and we'll import data.text text text with a capital T, and void, I guess it is part of data.void. Okay, great. So let's write a function called parse heading, and it will be a parser. It's going to have a parser type, parser text. So parse heading, what it will do is, as mentioned here, all the heading tags starts with either one or more, at max 6 hashes, and then it will have whatever the string until the new line. So we'll try that first. In order to capture these hashes, we will use char hash, and these can occur uh, at least one time. Okay, 1 to 6. So let's just assume that it can occur 1 to n number of times. So we'll use a function called sum that will try to pass this char to n number of times, at least one, and we will eat this using void, and it is saying that void does not exist. So let me just check where the void is coming from. We'll check back later on. So we are eating one or more number of hashes, and after that we will just consume all the input that exists until the slash until the new line. So for that we can use a function called take while one. We go here, take while yes, take while p is there and take while one p is there. So the difference between take while p and take while one p is that it parses zero or more tokens, and it parses one or more. So at least one character should be there. So we are deliberately using take while one p, so that if there is no text, it will be. We'll use nothing. It takes a maybe. This is for, I guess it is for label. This is probably for label, and it will take a predicate that takes the token, and it try to validate which sort of tokens are validated. So any sort of character is fine as long as it is not slash. So we will take all characters until slash n, and that will be our content, and we will just return the content. It is saying char does not exist because it is part of text megaparsec.char. Perfect. It is saying parse heading is not used. It's fine. Let me just go here. Let me reload. Let me import mylib. And does parse heading exist? Yes, it does. Let me do a parse test on this parse heading, and let me have the text called this is heading slash. It is saying that the input that we have given is a string. So for that we need to enable an extension called overloaded strings. Okay. Okay, perfect. It got parsed. There is one important thing. If okay, it passed. This passed as well because I guess the end of input, it also considers this as a slash n, or maybe it implicitly adds the slash n, but that doesn't matter. So yeah, we were able to parse the heading. Even if there are more number of hashes, it will still work. It will consume all these hash tokens. Um, so that is great. Important thing is, um, so one thing we can observe here is that this slash, this space is there. The space is also coming here, but that space should not come here. You can see that one space is valid. Okay, so what I will do is, a small thing I can do is, I can say I can eat that space. Okay, and just like this, you can see that I'm able to eat the space. Now an important thing is, we can see that if there is one hash, we can say that it is an h1 tag. If there are two hashes, we can say that it is an h2 tag. Three hashes, three. So we need to know the count of how many hashes are there. So for that, what I can do is, instead of using this sum cat, I can use take while 1p nothing not equal to, and this will give me a hashes basically, and I can actually have the count of how many hashes are there. And an important thing, I don't want to return the text, because I want to return, okay, I want to return the tuple of the text and how many hashes are there, which is going to be the integer. So I will return the length of ngd. Case take while 1p nothing. What's wrong? So it should be t dot length, and t is basically the qualified version of data dot text. Yes, perfect. So if I reload this and I went in here, it is giving me a sort of an error. It is saying that expected hash. So it is a hash there. Okay. Unexpected hash. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, it should be equal to. Okay, and we are able to get the count of how many hashes are there as well. So this is great. Obviously, these hashes should be limited to 6 only, but you guys can add that sort of a condition. It's not a big deal. So the next change that I want to do is that I don't want to have this sort of a tuple, because we will be having different types of these markdown syntaxes. I want all these markdown syntaxes to be a single type, and this type will have different types of various type constructors, such as heading, bold, italic, list, all these things. So I will create a type called, let's say, markdown, or short for MD element, and this MD element will contain stuff like M heading. So M heading is going to be nothing but the text, and the int. Okay, and here instead it's going to be md element, and instead of error, let me just the m heading content and the left. Perfect. Let me just give it deriving show and eq instance, so I can actually print it on the console as well. So Parse heading is sort of done. If I reload this, you can see it is working as expected. Now the next thing I want to do is the paragraph is going to be something that's going to be like the default. Like if there is nothing specialized, we can just wrap it inside paragraph. Obviously, we have to take care of this BR condition, the breakline condition. We'll look into that later on. But for now, I just want to focus on bold. So let me add another type. Let it be n bold, and it will just contain the text. We don't really have any the hash or anything like that. So what n bold will do? Parse bold. Parser md element. So you can see it says that, so we have something. So forget about this remaining string. We'll just look into the stuff that is there, that is star star and star star. So whatever is the content that is inside these two star star and star star, that will be our bold content. So we'll just focus on that. And we can definitely add something more later. So there is a function called between. So we can do it in multiple ways. Let's just do it in the normal way. So we will eat the star star, and at the end we'll also eat star star. And in between, whatever is the sort of alphanumeric text that exists, we will take everything. Okay. One important thing, that there should not be a space in between the star star and the text. So you know what I'll do is, I'm just going to do take while one p nothing not equal to star. Okay, and this will be our content, and this is the content that we will sort of return. M bold. Okay, it is saying that this is a string, but we are expecting a text. So for that, we need to enable an extension, overloaded string. Okay, so yeah, this works. Let's try running it. Parse bold, and in between two strings, I'm going to say hello there. It worked fine. If I missed out a star, it is going to give an error saying that expecting star or something like that. So this is fine. The problem here is that, as I mentioned, there should not be a space in between these two, otherwise the parser will fail. So I want to have that condition in here. How to do that? So a simple thing we can do is we can use a function called, I think it is called not followed by. Not followed by. Yes, I don't know why the search is not working, and we can just give it some parser to it, and this not followed by will succeed when the parser p fails. So the parser that I want to check is the space. So if a space is there, this parser will fail. So let's try this theory. So I have this hello there, it is working perfectly. But if there is a space in between these two, this will fill. So it is not expecting a space. This is good, perfect. And the same thing I want to do at the end as well. So this is perfectly working. I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to say, this is interesting. Actually, we cannot really stop it because our take while p is consuming everything till star. So our basically the pointer, the parsing pointer is pointing to star right now. It's not pointing to the space. So how to avoid this? Hmm, we cannot use space here, but okay, fine. For now, we'll just add the condition of not having the space at the beginning. We'll figure out a way on how to add the space at the end. Mm, we can say that, okay, we'll look into that later on. So yes, so the bold is working at this moment. Bold is basically the basic version of bold is working. The next thing that we want to try is italic. Which is going to be the same, just like bold, but with italic, it's just going to be the single step. And another thing I forgot is that underscore is also a thing. So the thing is, we can, like, there are two ways. First of all, we have done it with the star star. Simpler approach can be, we can just have the alternative parser for underscore underscore, but it should not work. There is a reason behind that. I mean, we can just do this and it will work. For example, if I did this, it will, forgot to reload. Oh, here. So let me have the condition where either it is not equal to star, and it should not be equal to underscore as well. Okay, this will work, but the problem is that this will also, and I don't want that to happen. So I mean, I don't know if this thing exists or not. Let's do asset track size or underscores. And other spaces. Okay, so for we cannot do this. We will have to write two separate functions for this. Mm, and we can combine it. So it should be star star and then the same thing with underscore underscore as well, because this is not the correct approach. But anyways, for now it is fine. We'll just move ahead with the parse italic. So with parse italic, it's almost the same thing. Underscore, it will be character this time. So character will again same thing, content take while one p nothing x should not be equal to star and should not be, I mean, it should stop when the star or the underscore will come. So again, nor condition char underscore. I mean, there is a very simple thing we can do is we can have this or, and then we can have two separate parser which will have just the change of star and underscore. So at the end, I guess we will just return M italic content, and I don't remember adding M. Okay, we have added M italic. So M italic for the same star and star and italic. Now definitely there is going to be a confusion when there will be two more stars. Let's say there are two more stars. I guess this will give an error. Yes, because it sort of just stops. Like if it takes this star and it takes this star and it just stops. But we are using take while 1p, so it is giving an error. This is good, but you must be wondering like what if this thing happened? You know, in this situation, parse bold should work. So when we will create, we will have our ultimate parser, which will be a combination of all these small parsers, heading, bold, italic list. In that situation, we will put parse bold first. So first it will try to parse the string with parse bold. If parse bold failed, it means that there are definitely not two stars at the beginning and two stars at the end. If that failed, then we will try for parse italic, which will try for single star at the beginning and single star at the end. And I hope I have not forgotten the not followed by. Perfect. So yeah, this is good. This is working fine. The next thing that I want to do is, so italic part is done. Same for bold and italic. Let me just have the function bold italic. Bold italic. I'll just copy everything from here. By the way, I have the video on basically basics of Megaparsec. Please do watch that video first before watching this video. Sorry, I should have said this earlier, but anyways, and this should be bold italic. Okay, perfect. So bold italic with 3 stars. It's working fine. So yes, when I will have the ultimate parser, the bold italic will come first, then bold, and then italic. Anyways, then we will have block codes. Now block codes again, it's the same thing. We can just look for this greater than symbol at the beginning. If it is this case, then we can have the string inside this sort of gray background. We can just add a span tag there. That will also work completely fine. So let's look at list for now. Now with list, it's going to be the same thing. There can be for ordered list there can be a digit and then there is a dot and then there is a space and then the actual content. We will just assume that the content will end at /n, though there can be a multi-line content. But for the sake of simplicity, we'll just assume that there is just a single line content that exists. So for ordered list, as I said, digit and a dot. For now, let's just think that this is I'm talking about a single list element. I'm not talking about the entire list. Because what we can do is we can simply say that this is a list, this is a list element, and we can just run for the entire list, we can just run the list element parser n number of times. So let's just have a parser called parse list item. Parser md element parse list item. We call it parse list item, which is going to be text, and then I'm going to have m list, which is going to be the list of m list item. I don't know if this is allowed. Definitely, it is not allowed. It is saying that you can do it with data by allowing data kinds, but I doubt. Because this is the data constructor itself, so I can mention it as md element this way. But again, this will cause a problem. So even if in this list, if there are some other elements like bold or italic, bold italic, that will also come inside this. So we have to be careful. What I can simply do is I can create a new type called data mlist item and use this mlist item. We can do that, but for now we can just use md element in here. So the logic is going to be, let's say there is a digit character, we have a thing called digit char. Let's say there is a digit character, digit char, and then it is followed by a dot. I'm going to say dot. By the way, right. So void comes from, I guess, control monad. Import control dot monad void. So you can prefer either doing this underscore thing or void. It's completely fine. Then I will expect one or more spaces. I will need all the spaces that are there, and then I will take while one p nothing. I will consume all the characters until the new line. Slashing content. Yeah, I'll take the content. I'll just return it in the format of list item. Yes, it will work fine. So let's try that. So I'm going to say one dot this is list item one. I think it was parse list item. Parse list item. Okay, it worked perfectly. Now the only thing that we need to do. Now the only thing that we need to do is we just need to run this parser n number. I can say sum and this will give me a list. Let me just show you. So 1/n, let's say 2, another list. This is odd. Okay, let me see why it is not working. Let me think about this. Let's say I went with parse list and I said parcel md element list from parse list item. We will have the digit char and we need to return it in m list, I guess. We have, yes. We need to penetrate it. Right. Parentheses. We will have one and dot we'll take the content until /n. This worked. So this did not work. Sorry. I guess for some reason, let me just eat spaces before. Yes, this one. So you can see there is this is the first item, this is the second item. Again, the digit char, what is the significance of this? It does not matter whether it is in serial order or not. So you can see there is 1 1 1. It is still the render output is 1 2 3 because it only cares if there is some digit and a dot. It will get converted into. So the change now again, we can do the same thing for this is considered as an ordered list. There's also concept of unordered list, which will have a dash and a star and a plus. So we can do that as well. Let's do that. So this is going to be a list item. This is going to be a list item for ordered list. So I'll just add an O in between them. So this is going to be parse O list. O stands for ordered. A list item. And we'll have parse U list. Here in the element. Parse U list. Will take space void the character dash, then we will need one space, yeah, one space is fine. We will take the content then the new line and return it. This will be parse list O item and O list item. Okay, fine. O list item and parse list. I mean, actually, it doesn't matter will have the list item type, and this will be a list item as well. Parse list item. The function parse list will be parser md element parse list, basically mu list, unordered list, from parse list. I don't know why I gave dollar here. So we will have again I'm confused. But so there is going to be mu list and mo list. That will be our differentiator. So mu list is there for unordered, and mo list is going to be there for ordered. The list item will stay the same because it does, as I mentioned, it does not matter. Here it is li, here it is also. So this worked. I feel like worked pretty fine. So let's have our this is going to be O list. Yes. So these are really all the parsing elements that we wanted to use. Now let's write our ultimate parser, which will be the combination of all these. I'm just going to call it main parser, which will return parser md element. Main parser do, and what it will do is it will keep on parsing all the input or up against all these small parts. So for that, we'll have a function called choice, and choice will take the list of all the parsers that we want. Stuff like parse heading, parse bold, sorry, I think it is going to be first bold italic, then parse, what is it, bold, parse italic, then parse list, and parse list. That's all the stuff that we have. Yes. So this will return the list of all the MD elements. Let's see. Now it's going to fail, but right now we'll just use it. Main parser. Yes, it is working fine, but what if there is something like this? Hello, and then okay, it gave me a heading with three hashes are there, and then it gave me the list. One important thing is that what if there is a hash and there is a star in here? This nice should be italic, okay, but it did not consider it to be italic. So whatever is the string, the content that is inside some Markdown syntax, it also need to be parsed again for some different Markdown syntax. So inside heading, there can be italic text. Inside the list, there can be bold text. So we want to cover those cases. Another important fact is that we should put try in front of all these, because if let's say bold is there and bold fail, it should backtrack. Let me just give you an example. So let's say that I haven't saved this. So main parser is there, and I try to do this. Okay, it worked. So I guess it is backtracking. I guess choices backtrack the stuff automatically, so we don't have to do it. That's good. But as I mentioned, whatever is the content that we are generating, this should also be a markdown within itself, because as I mentioned in this example, I guess, yes, this mlist item can have uh, some markdown related syntax within itself. So it's a very important change. So how to do that? First of all, inside bold there is a text, inside italic there is a text, inside everything there is a text. Only inside mu list and mo list there is a list of empty elements itself. So these two lists are recursive per se. Again, they will always have the list item type, but we should change. So first of all, MD heading. Let's start with MD heading. Instead of text, it should contain MD element, and inside parse heading, this content, which is the text, this content before we do this, we need to came up with a base condition. Like let's say all of these parsers got filled. Okay, at this moment we have MD element, but what if this MD element, the text that is inside this heading tag, is neither a bold, neither italic, neither a list element? Then we need to have a base case, a wrapper. We'll call it only. That is, this is going to be the bottom of all cases, bottom case. So yes. Let's see. So what can we do? So we have the content here. What I can do is I can say parse. There's a function called parse maybe, and we will call our main parser. But again, main parser will give us the list. Instead of doing the list, what we can do is we'll have another function called parse line that will be MD element line. It is basically going to be a choice between all this. AB, and I'm going to call parse line up against content, and this will give me rest. So if the parser failed, that is, if this parse line failed, I will get nothing. Just show you parse. So here is the parse maybe. It will sort of parse the input string up against some parser. If it is nothing, that is if the parser failed, we can just wrap our content inside only. This wrap against only. Otherwise, if we got some parsed input, I can say m heading that x, and key length. Okay, it is giving some error. It is a maybe type, I guess. Okay, you don't have to use this symbol. Okay, it worked. So let's try that. So if I go Megaparsec and I have stuff like star and star, okay, it worked. M heading inside of which it has italic. Hello. Okay. So obviously, if I add the string like nice to meet you, it will fail because our parser only parses the italic parser only parses starting from the star and ending with star. So obviously there is a very simple solution to it, but we'll look into that later on. So let me just quickly convert all these into MD elements. So lots of errors, but we'll slowly change all of them. We just have to make a small change. Let and can just copy this then. Paste it here, paste it here. Here, though there are many parsers, they are all sort of following the same pattern, which is great for us. Having this, and actually we will just have this as well. Just copy this. Oops. Pasting it, and instead of M heading, I will have M bold. Quickly. Okay, this is going to be list item. Bold. That's not content. List item is here as well. I think this one is for unordered. This one is above one is for ordered. Oh yeah, everyone has hashes here. I'll have to change that as well. Bold. Okay. Let me just quickly remove all these lengths. Okay, perfect. So let's try something. You obviously this will not work. This will not work, but this will work. Then I will have this that contains old stuff. Okay, it worked perfectly fine. M italic, M heading, M italic only means list bold stuff. Perfect. Um, Obviously I have left a lot of cases, but now we can move on to convert whatever we get from mparser into the HTML. It's its HTML equivalent code. So I will have a function called toHTML that will take this empty element list and it will convert it into the normal text, which is going to be the HTML. So what we need to do? So for each and every type, that is bold, list, italic, we will just wrap that content, the whatever is the content that is inside this only into, let's say if there's italic, we will just wrap it inside I and slash I. So since it is a list, let's just not think about list for a second. We can fold it. We can use fold R and it will start with an empty string. We will take x and accumulators and we'll use a helper function that will convert the single. Let's have the helper function first, and the element will convert it into text, helper, define. Okay, so the accumulator, that is this empty string to begin with. So this will give me the text, and I will just append, I will just concatenate with the accumulator. Okay. Now the helper function, so MD element. Now there are various types of MD elements are there. Let's start with them. We'll just copy it first here. So first of all, let's think about mbold. So mbold MD. If bold is there, we'll just wrap it inside strong. We go and look here. It's heading paragraph. I think it was, yes, it is wrapped inside strong tag. So MD is there. This MD again, it is a markdown. So we will again recursively call the helper function onto this MD. MD should have one argument. Okay, let me swap. Okay, it is working, but that's odd. I don't know why it is saying that we have not used all these functions, parse heading and all that. We have used it clearly here. So this one was for bold. You can do the same things for, I guess there is bold italic that exists. Bold italic and just italic. So with bold italic, there will be two things, I and then slash I. And in case of just italic, the I slash I. Okay. Then in case of, I have purposefully left out heading, so we'll do that heading now. So in case of heading, what should happen is we have two things. We have first of all the MD itself and an integer n. So this n is going to be basically whether I want h1, h2, h3, all that stuff. So as I mentioned, the n is going to be the hn. With the h, then I'm going to show the n because it is an integer, and I also need to convert the string into the text. For that I will use t.pack. This is working. forgot the ending bracket, and I will also have to do the same at the end. So slash, I guess here I need to add okay, so heading part is done. What's remain is the list. So u list, let's go with u list. U list, it will have the list of Markdown elements. So in case of u list, it will be wrapped inside ul. But this MDS, I'll not call helper on this, but I can call, I think the function is 2HTML. I can call 2HTML onto this. Perfect. Now with MO list, I will just have to use OL instead of UL. And it will probably work. So all of them are done. All of the elements are done. The final one is helper only. So with only we'll have the txt, and so we'll just return the txt text as it is. I think that's really all the things that we need to do. We are holding all the list of elements. The one thing that we forgot is list item. Let me just quickly add it. It is m list item, which is an MD element. I will again call MD to recursively call helper on that MD, and I will wrap this list item with LI. Okay, perfect. So let's do that. So if I did main parser on this, it is giving me this stuff, this list. I'll use parse maybe. Maybe this is going to give me the same thing inside a just wrapper. Now whatever I will get, I will apply 2HTML to it, and it worked. You can see h3 tag, the element, I tag because this meat is italic, then h3 tag ended, ordered list, list, strong, bold stuff, strong ended, list ended. So yes, this was really the basic version of our parser, and we wrote the code close to, no, this is not really 140 lines. It's going to be, yeah, it's close to 120 lines, 25 lines. So yeah, it's a good number. We can write, we wrote a parser quite quickly, and obviously I've left out a lot of edge cases and all stuff, but it will give you a very good vague idea on how to write a parser and how to combine small parsers into making it into a more complicated version of the parser. So you will find the code link in the description. Thank you, and please subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.